So we all talk about the magical P's, right? People, productivity, profitability, performance, all of these magical words that begin with P. Well, I want to throw in another one that I think is the magical word that begins with P, and that is passion. I listened to two podcasts over the past couple of days, I guess, on my morning walks, and we'll put notes in, we'll put links in the show notes to let you know where you can find these. One of them was about a researcher who was involved in coming up with the COVID vaccine, and she did that by doing research in this area that you've probably have now heard of, which is the messenger RNA, the mRNA. And that really is the key to so many of the vaccines that we have out there, how scientists are able to put something into the RNA which creates a block to COVID. Well, this didn't get started last January in Wuhan. I mean, this work with mRNA got started years and years and years ago. And this woman, a Hungarian woman from Budapest, did an awful lot of the legwork, and she got turned down time and time and time again. In fact, she tells a story in the podcast where there were 6 universities that were going to be offered financial grants on the work they were doing. They had a total of 7 submissions for grant requests, and she was the only one that got turned down. So, holy cow. But her passion for what she was doing was so great that she didn't let that dissuade her. And good thing for all of us that in fact is the case. And the other story is a story about the screenwriter that did Queen's Gambit, which I believe is still the #1 Netflix serial that's run. And if you haven't seen it, you owe it to yourself to watch Queen's Gambit. If you don't like the first episode, wait around, watch the first 2. If you watch the first 2, tell me how you're not going to watch the rest of them. But that was, again, something that he couldn't get sold. And it took 30 years to get that going. Yet, it happened, and look at the success that it was. And the only reason it happened was the passion of the person behind it. Now, neither one of these people, I think you would describe as classic sellers. Certainly, the Hungarian researcher, if we did a profile on her, I don't think she'd profile like a salesperson. But she effectively got done what she needed to get done, not because of her personality, but because of the passion that she brought to the table. And if your people on your team can bring passion to what they do, where they passionately believe in what they're doing, the difference in their results can be absolutely dramatic. And I think about two times in my career, very early on, when I was working for a service bureau, selling batch services in New York to handle accounting functions, how passionately we believed in that we had tools and mechanisms that allowed our clients to have access to information that was accurate and timely, that allowed them to be more effective in doing what they did. We absolutely believed that. And about 10 years later, when I was working for a mini computer company in Chicago, when we had a combination of a hardware product and an operating system that allowed for great security, very easy for a good programmer to write programs, that we believed that we had the combination of tools, hardware and software, that clients could genuinely use and get whatever it was that they needed. And that was reflected in our customer base, from medical offices to municipal bond brokers, to coleslaw manufacturers, automobile auctions, Chicago Bar Association. it didn't matter. We had a swagger and a cockiness about what we did when we walked into a prospect situation because we were passionate about what we had. How do you get there? Well, you can get there by accident, like you might just have the right place at the right time. But let me suggest to the marketing team in your organization that the people that you need to sell first are the internal people. You need to have your internal people, your salespeople, your account managers, your implementation people. You need those people passionate about what they're doing. You need to convince them first. And if you can convince your internal people and you can show them what they've got and how it is uniquely and spectacularly different and better, whatever that may be, talking about contextual intelligence as it relates to digital advertising, whatever it is, you need to ignite the passion of your people. Because if you wait for it to happen on its own, it's a hit and miss type of situation. So grab the bull by the horns and make it happen and build some passion inside your teams. Thanks for listening.